Oh, hey guys, welcome to my channel. Thank you for watching. And today's video, man, we're gonna go back and do some video. We're gonna get to the topic of how a Republican Senate Speaker House care it is of Trump. But first, let's do a due diligence. Let's start with hip hop since we're like a hip hop blog. Hey guys, welcome to my channel. Thank you for watching. Sorry about that. Sorry for the echo. Um, did I get everything done right now? Okay, good. Um, and just let's start with over there. I don't know what's wrong with Boosie, but I don't know where. Oh, where was that? Boosie posted this out of nowhere. Why do so many successful black men date white women? Did y'all role models date white women? Were y'all raised to like white women? What white women do that black women don't do? I've even meaning to for a minute now, but what's wrong with the black woman? Um, I don't know what side of the bed um, Boosie wake up to. I don't know if he tried to get sleepy. I don't know what is going on. He just had a pussy out of nowhere. But it's still conversation in the female blog pages. But beside that, nobody make my. It wasn't make big news, but I thought it was kind of weird that he talked about that. But I digress. Um, the other thing that happened is little today. Lil Wayne is working in the Carter Six, right? He's working in the Carter Six, and he's been going through the promotion. Um, he recently posted all the feature people that be featured on that album, right? Um, beside that, um, they talk about doing one interview about the Super Bowl situation, and he flat out said he didn't watch it. He said he didn't watch the Super Bowl performance and said he will no longer consider he will no consider the halftime show. Every time I look at it was nothing that made me want to go inside and see what was going on. He said Wayne vows to Wayne took in a third person, but which Wayne vowed that he'll no longer consider doing the Super Bowl. This told that feeling I don't want to do it, and and was and was perfect. I don't think they're gonna miss Lil Wayne. At that age he is right now, man, I don't think nobody even care whether or not Lil Wayne do a Super Bowl. Um, I surely do not care if Lil Wayne do it, even though he is one of my favorite rapper. I'm not going crazy about Lil Wayne doing a Super Bowl performance, but I will not mind it, but I digress. To each their own. Thank you for the like for everybody who liked it. Um, I'm glad with the video they play. I don't know why Drake did. We're gonna come back to this. We're gonna come back to this. Um, okay, team has respect to UMG latest statement and attempt to spin the narrative that deflect the unity. Drake is holding the largest music catalog in the world along with action and doing so without fear. We dismiss this Texas Discovery action because Discovery will not proceed in New York. That's not retreat. That's victory. UMG dismissed the first attempt petition in Texas because it has no it has no claim that losing, and UMG know their case against the only getting stronger. Drake welcomed discovery and and has nothing to hide. It's not Drake who should worry. It's UMG current leadership who look forward to hear from Lucius Green, John, and a UMG employer under oath. Um, they try to go against the machine after UMG pulls this and warn Drake. UMG tell Drake, be careful what you wish for. And their statement, music business worldwide, and the response to Drake main complaint. Drake un, unquestionable one of the world's most accomplished artists with whom we enjoy successful relationship is being misled by his legal representative and taking on ambush legal step to after another. In Texas, November, the council situation legal proceeding much fell for Brussels on the Monday. Um, on Monday, they quietly dropped the case. In New York, January, Drake counsel filed a defamation lawsuit, fearful of being sanctioned by the court of asset, asserting false allegations. Tonight, they are attempting to complain to withdraw them only to add more baseless allegations. I don't know what's going on. Um, but this thing is getting out of crazy. This, we even got Kanye West speaking on it.
So happy right now, you don't understand with this UMG, Drake, Kendrick situation, Super Bowl, Grammys. This shit was driving me, and you know where it should be driving me, but this is one of the biggest, if not, this is the biggest victory in music history right here. I'm never finna call Drake out of his name. I'm team Drake 100% and team Kendrick and team all of us. Like Kendrick need to be going at UMG at this point. This is what I said in my version of Like That. I said, Lucien, lifetime deal. Like, let's stop aiming all this at each other. That's all, like, bro, you have no idea. Everything is worth everything for a moment like this, where we stop going at each other and we go at the slave masters. I'm so happy right now.
I don't know what he's talking about, but Kanye West is always complaining when things doesn't go his way. Aren't you like a slave master? I see Kanye West disrespect on his own friend, like even his dead friend who died from mental, physical, sick, some disease, and he's always trying to diss his own friend. Kanye West is the worst person. I don't know why black people love Kanye West so much. And I'm not going for people to disown Kanye West, but Kanye West is the worst person to be out here represent black people because Kanye West is a self-centered, is only care about Kanye West, man. But I digress. Beside that, what else is going on in entertainment game? Let's check out No Jumper. I said I was gonna wait till I talk about it, but it is what it is. Um, so today while I was at work, this happened. Um, it was you know what? Let's jump into this. I'm gonna get back to No Jumper. We all see this what happened today, right? There was this mass shooting happened today, and it got a whole people scared. Out of Florida State University, there was multiple shot happen. Um, it was going crazy in the news. People was hiding this, that, and the third. Even Trump talk about it.
The shooter.
Um, Well, I'm trying to get a video where they like mention it. Let's go to a shade room where I can go more in depth about that whole shooting situation. Um, So that happened.
An active shooter situation on the campus of Florida State University in Tallahassee, Florida. We understand this happened sometime around lunchtime and that it happened in the student union. Again, this is preliminary information. It could change. From what we know, at least 4 people so far have been taken to the hospital. Our George Solis is also tracking the developments from Florida as well. And George, what can you tell our viewers? What news have we learned?
Yeah, Tom. So again, fast moving and fluid situation here. We can kind of give a timeline of when FSU first put out the alert. That was around noon at the start of the lunch hour, saying an active shooter has been reported in the area of the student union. Police are on the scene or on the way, advising people to continue seeking shelter. Now, as of note, we know that at least 4 were hospitalized. The hospital there, Tallahassee Memorial, putting out a notice a little bit ago, and we have it here saying they are actively receiving and caring for patients related to an incident that has occurred at FSU. At this time, details are still unfolding. We'll note that they do not say the number of people at this time, indicating this could be a fluid and rapidly changing number as well.
An active shooter situation.
So after that happened, eventually we get to find out the identity of the killer. Let's look at this.
And we understand that you all have been devastated because of this person's actions.
So
the question as it relates to who is the shooter is 20-year-old Phoenix Eichner. And he's the son of a Leon County Sheriff deputy.
Bro, when we found out this guy not only is 20-year-old, and look, let me change this. As a black person, once we found out the killer wasn't, with everything going on, because Trump was already on the news talking about we'll talk some more about it. What happened is a tragedy, this, that, and the third. We're gonna figure it out. But he didn't want to go crazy because he didn't know who was the shooter. And then I think if it was not looking like us and looking more not looking more like us, he was going like, oh yeah, these criminals, this, that, and the third. We should deport them. But when he found out it is, he's like, oh, we're sorry, I support the amendment, but you know what I mean, the strategy thing is this, that, and the third. You know what happened. You know, goddamn, if it was somebody that looked like the Central Spark 5, he was gonna say a whole bunch of crazy shit. But 2 people end up dead, and this guy, his own father is a sheriff. So it's not sure if he going to mental issues, if somebody was like harassing him, what was the cause for him to start going to the shooting where 2 people end up dead, 5 people are injured. Yeah, it's not something very little, but overall, man, we're sad for the people who died. We're sad for the people that's been hurt, but we also, as a black person, I'm happy this shooter, especially after we're dealing with the Carmelo Anthony, the whole thing in the other side of Florida. We're just glad that this one wasn't a over, I think, Texas, Texas, the Carmelo thing, but we're just glad that this one, it wasn't black either, because you know what I mean, because the black team, bro, is going crazy. Talking about shooting, remember, let's jump into the whole thing, man. Today, Carmelo, today, the guy who were arrested, who was arrested.
And wake up this know why we are being targeted. Help.
The guy who were should and it was got $1 million bail. Eventually, a judge reduced it to like 250,000, and there was a GoFundMe. It was well, I guess they suspended GoFundMe, but we've come to find out it was NBA YoungBoy who helped him to be free, to help him out with his bail, because the parents could probably afford it. But NBA YoungBoy came to the support and helped give him $200,000 to be able to bail the Carmelo Anthony out. But the parents are getting harassed, and they had a press conference because they kind of like know what happened, and they're not talking about it because they don't want to disrespect the family of the person who got died. But they're so tired because they now They cannot go to work. They cannot because they've been getting harassed, death threat.
Our family has been under attack. Whatever you think what happened between Carmelo and the Metcalf boys, my 3 younger children, my husband, and I didn't do anything to deserve to be threatened, harassed, and lied about. The lies and false accusations that have been said about us, especially over the past week, has been overwhelming. The lies and their amplification put my family in danger, as well as everyone in our community, everyone involved in the investigation, from the police, the attorneys, and the court staff. Our address and my husband's previous employer's address has been put on all social media platforms. My husband had to take a leave of absence because he's afraid what may happen to our family. In wake of this tragic, mental health is deteriorating day by day. We have endured death threats. My 13-year-old daughter is afraid to sleep in her own bedroom because she's fearful of what may happen to her. And let me be clear, the claims that were used about the public donation to buy a home or anything else are completely false. We have not received a single dime from the Give, Send, Go fundraiser. And the co-founder has stated that clearly. In the reality, we were just notified yesterday that we could begin to withdraw funds. I don't know why we are being targeted and discriminated against before a fair trial. Our son deserves the same rights under the law that everyone is afforded to. He's been raised in a 2-parent home with structure, stability, love, and we put God first in everything that we do. To those who have.
So the family is almost kind of insinuating that they don't want to disrespect the other family, but they kind of insinuate that, look, we're not disrespect the other family that lose their life, but can you please let the child to his son have a due process so we can understand what happened? Because it's kind of insinuating that they know what happened, and almost kind of like insinuating that the son was in a self-defense situation, and kind of insinuate that they have evidence to prove the evidence. And but during the press conference, the son who got died tried to interrupt the press. I'm not sure why, but I don't know. So I understand both family and her, but the situation is turning into a race war because something is missing from this whole thing. It's not just like a crazy random black person. This is a young boy who never have a criminal past, allegedly. And also that the whole thing is kind of, they say like it kind of like it was a self-defense, but the family of the boy who got killed said no, it wasn't a self-defense. So it's like he said, she said situation. And now we're gonna have to like wait until the trial, man. We're gonna have to wait. And because there's a lot of missing hole in those situations. Some people already pick a side, but yeah. Let's talk about another shooting. So there's 17-year-old suspect, man, turned himself in after he decided to go and mass shooting. His parents found out it was him and turned him to the police. He's probably gonna spend the rest of his life in jail because, bruh. But it's like too many shooting, too many killing going on, man. But what can we expect for doing Trump era, man? Doing Trump era. Oh my God. Oh my God. But I guess look what happened somewhere. A $20 million ice break. Tim get away with $20 million ice after Robert Jordan stole a $20 million old insured. Bro, they managed to like get a hold to the building from another store, and it stole 20 million. And I guess they said the jeweler then they wasn't insured, so they lose that all that $20 million. They're gonna go broke. They're going to go broke, man. A lot of people are going after Boosie for like trying to wonder why. Boosie is one of the few rappers like, yeah, we always see dirty black women. We know we barely see her dirty white women, but I don't know what that is all about. But not too many people like that. Not too many people like that. Little Wayne also. Okay, we talked about that before. Yeah, but what world this guy live in? Little Wayne said he didn't know that Jay-Z and Ye had a collab album. Like you mean like one of the best album ever made, Watch the Throne, and he never know. Wasn't he in a remix? Yeah, I understand you mad about the Super Bowl, but come on, you know about it. Like I know you're more aware than that. I know you live in a bubble, but come on, bro. Come on, stop that BS. Stop that BS now, Lil Wayne. Come on. Guys, listen to this. Apparently, this influencer, Asian, I don't know if he try to get his Asian women and try to please China, uh, anything to please China. He try to give this influencer money and also to have his baby for him. But the influencer rejected because, you know, of course, influencer depend. If you're a streamer, you make money, bro. Like if women already have money, some of those guys, man, they don't even want them. Only like women who like women with power. But if your man already got money, bro, they're not gonna go for like awkward, looking, talking kind of person like Elon Musk. But she, like she was gonna give it 20K. Oh man, that's little to nothing, bro. But I'm glad that she didn't take it and then listen to his non shenanigan BS and this, that, and the third. But what do you think about it? I'm sure there's plenty other Asian women who will take it, but that's crazy. And also, well, it looked like after the first try to kill Luciani, they try to set her an example. So it's gonna be based on the jurors, bro. And I know there's a lot. They don't know what they're gonna do because the trial gonna have to be without a juror. Because if they have a juror, there's a 50-50 chance of Luciana walk. And I know they're probably gonna do a retrial because a lot of people do not like the insurance company. And the feds now try to get him to kill and added death penalty into that state, even though it's in New York. Like New York is one of those states that they do not have death penalty, but because it's a federal case, they added to it, bro. You know, and he's there, bro. Even though he's white, he's coming from a wealthy family, bro. They don't care. They just don't care. But it's not like a poor person kill a rich person. It's not like a rich person that kill another rich person. So I don't know why they're going too hard on him, but it is what it is. It is what it is, man. Bro, let's see this. You know that the guy who was in El Salvador, right? Who detained and Trump said, they say they don't know how to get him back in the country. Guess what? the a senator from Maryland was able to went to Maryland. The El Salvador was able to arrange a situation where they have him sit down and have a quick talk with with that senator. What's that picture? And it's going viral of that senator. Um, Sorry, guys, give me a second. I was looking for that. I know I had it. I, bruh, I don't see that picture somewhere. I know I had it, but I don't know where did it go. And sorry about it, because it's very important. Well, they able to get that. But I'm sure I got it when I go to MSNBC. But yeah. So hopefully, man, they can move to the right step and get this guy back in this country, man. What else? Okay. We were wonder why she posts his son. Well, it looked like Ari and Moneybag Q is broke up because with the whole uh Cardi B and Offset situation, um it looked like Cardi B got tired and kind of like insinuate that Offset slept with Cardi B while they were together, and kind of insinuate her and Moneybag been dating for more than 3 years now, even though they broke up because allegedly he cheated. I guess now she try to get cheated back, and but you know how that is. If you try to pay a tip for that, man is not gonna okay with it, especially from an industry good. And I guess the Moneybag like nah nigga we're not playing tip for tat, and I guess they broke up, and he bounced, especially from like bro from one of the dude I work with. Some of those guys, man, they have no respect. Even though that, like, whether it's Drake or other, or like those guys love going after other women, other people, women, bro. And yeah, yeah, try to embarrass you by going after your woman. And one other thing, and those women be so stupid is and know what the game is, but acting unknowingly. But Okay, beside that, oh, I'm tired. I'm ready to go. What else is going on in the news world? Oh, today, there was a video I was looking for, guys.
Performing on the biggest stage in the world was just one step in my journey. Hi,
I hope to.
That was the video I was talking about how the El Salvador guy able to talk to Maryland's senator who
Meet
is
with
El Salvador.
representatives of the government. I hope to have the chance to actually see Kilmar and see what his condition is.
That was Maryland Senator Chris Van Hollen when he was on his way to El Salvador yesterday, saying one of the main goals of his visit was to essentially do a wellness check on this constituent of his that the Trump administration said it mistakenly shipped to El Salvador and then said they couldn't or wouldn't try to get him back. Well, earlier in the show tonight, we had the breaking news that Senator Van Hollen has accomplished at least that stated goal. He was initially turned away from this prison in El Salvador today, but then hours later, the El Salvadoran government arranged for Mr. Abrego Garcia to get out of the prison in order to meet Senator Van Hollen, somewhat bizarrely, in civilian clothes at a hotel in San Salvador. Now, we do not have a sense of what this is going to mean for Mr. Abrego Garcia overall. His lawyer tells us tonight he's just learning this meeting happened from social media like the rest of us are learning it. El Salvador's president just posted online that Mr. Abrego Garcia will now stay in El Salvador's custody. But again, it is the U.S. government that has been ordered by U.S. courts to get Mr. Abrego Garcia back to the United States. So we shall see. We did just obtain this statement from Mr. Abrego Garcia's wife. She says, quote, "My children and my prayers have been answered. The efforts of my family and community in fighting for justice are being heard because I now know that my husband is alive. God is listening and the community is standing strong. We still have so many questions, hopes, and fears. I will continue praying and fighting for Kilmar's return home. Thank you to everyone, including Senator Van Hollen, my CASA family, all our unions, faith leaders, and community for continuing this fight for my family to be reunited." We are just learning about this situation as it unfolds. This hour, we'll bring you whatever new information we get as we get it. Stay with us.
Well, that was amazing, man. To know that he's okay, even though he's his own country, but he's still in prison. It's not sure whether or not when all this done, even if he don't get back, he's still, well, he'll be okay because El Salvador is not the way it is before the gang was taken over. I think like now the country is more safe with that new president, even though people call him dictator, but he's a dictator that like literally like, if you go to El Salvador now, there's cops everywhere. I was watching a video, a documentary, there's cops literally everywhere. Like, I guess he called that something like they were trying to put in South Korea. He called it what you call it again? I know something Trump tried to do. They're probably gonna try to do it eventually. State. It's like the like state of emergency. He had a state of emergency for the El Salvador where he's the only one in charge. No, there's no senator. There's no like there are still mayor that kind of, but like the buck stuck with him. Like you gotta, if you're in position, you gotta do whatever. When the state of emergency is on, like he's running the country like a dictatorship. Everything gotta go with him or the cops. He run the cops goes directly. So that he's not trying to deal with political tirade where like he cannot do this because senator have to pass or congressman. Like he's not doing that. He's doing everything he gotta do whatever he asks because he's like the country under a state locked up. But when I mean that doesn't mean like people cannot come to the country. It means like the country is under a military ruling. So there's cops everywhere. They're not out here shooting, but what is going on is also people are scared. People say some people are getting arrested. Anybody that used to have tattoo are now trying to quickly remove their tattoo because any tattoo that's resembling gang, you automatically will go in prison. And it can drain a family broke, try to get a lawyer, try to get your family out of prison because of how strict the country is right now for safety. And yeah, so the thing is, it still can be unsafe for him, even though right now, like the gang is not really running the country because the country is running by like a dictatorship system. And he have like somewhat 90% rating approved from the country because the people been suffering. Like a small percentage of people like okay with what he like what he's doing to some degree, but they don't like how innocent people, where even women are getting locked up the way he's doing it. So that's the only pushback he have right now. But beside that, let's see what more information we hear about that.
Tonight, we are now getting our first glimpse of Kilmar Abrego Garcia after he was wrongfully deported to a prison in El Salvador. Senator Chris Van Hollen posted this photo tonight confirming his meeting with Garcia. Photos of the meeting were first posted by the Salvadoran president, who said,
my only thing is, I thought for a second he was Venezuelan. That's in another country. That's where they started at. But now we find out he's not Venezuelan. He's actually a Salvadorian that came to the country almost like 13, 15 years ago for gang protection or whatever.
now that he's been confirmed healthy, he gets the honor of staying in El Salvador's custody. MSNBC senior political analyst Matthew Dowd joins me now to discuss this and so much more. He's a former George W. Bush strategist and founder of Country Over Party. Matthew, everybody is watching this controversy play out. Even those who aren't necessarily focused on immigration, they're focused on it because they think about the United States and how they depend on us as a country to be one that follows its rule of law. They're also looking at the chaos from Trump's tariffs and what that's doing to the global economy. What does all of this do to our standing in the world as the leader of democratic ideals?
Well, great question. And I mean, this is such a scary situation because the way it was done, as you know, it was basically no due process was allowed. There was no transparency. Somebody was just picked up and as was discovered wrongly, taken to a foreign country and put in a foreign country jail. And it sounds like from all the reporting that we're paying the folks in El Salvador to hold this person until I guess somebody at the Trump level says, let him go. And that means that anyone watching, this is not just, oh, an immigrant was picked up and, oh, this bad person was picked up. It means anyone could be picked up and without due process, it would take weeks or months or years in order to get a legal citizen in the United States. You or me, this could happen to. And I think it's such a representation of the deterioration of the rule of law and our justice system in America. I mean, what I think incredibly disturbing for many of us, and I think should be to your viewers, is we're the wealthiest country on earth. And if we're not the oldest democracy in the world, we're the longest continual democracy in the world. We rank not in the top 10, not in the top 20 in democracies, not in the top 10, not in the top 20 in freedoms, not in the top 10 in rule of law, not in the top 10 of justice. And for all the other countries in the world that look to us that said they may make mistakes, they may not do everything right, but at least we believe in the ideals that they espouse from the Constitution that was done more than 200 years ago. And I think that is what's going to, as your previous conversation about the global economy.
Beside that, what else is going on with Congress and Trump's house?
If you want to get your name, phone number, and address off the internet, but want to handle the removals yourself, Optory's free opt-out guide.
Peter, we turn to you first. It was Japan visiting the White House yesterday. Today it's Italy. What do we know about what's actually getting done?
Well, it's hard to know that anything actually is getting done. I mean, look, if you're going to have a trade deal with another country, there are two levels, right? There is the tariff level where you can simply say, fine, I'm going to lower my tariff from X% to Y%. We'll all happy go away, call that a victory. But the real issues with a lot of these trade disputes are more complicated than that. There are things like what kind of standards you hold automobiles to, they're shipped here, what kind of intellectual property rules are there, what kind of adjudication is there of disputes between parties. Those are kind of things that normally take years to outline. That's why it took so long to negotiate NAFTA, the Trans-Pacific Partnership. All these major mega trade deals over the years were not simply done with a snap of a finger in 90 days. So what he's setting out to do, not just with one country, not just with a handful of countries, but with 70 or 80 or 90 countries, is obviously something less than a comprehensive change of the rules of the road. What he's looking for are enough changes that he can call a victory and say he's won.
Mark, can you just get practical with us? Because there's lots of folks out there who are saying Donald Trump is doing the hard work and we have faith that he's going to get this done practically. Just getting a deal done with one country takes a long time, right? That USMCA took something like 18 months. We've got dozens and dozens of countries, no outlines yet. How long could this go on realistically?
A long time, particularly with the larger trading partners like China or the European Union. I mean, there's a lot of moving parts here, and it's not just about the tariffs. It's about non-trade barriers. It's about, I think the thing that makes it most complicated is I'm not sure the administration knows what it wants from the other players. So it's not quite clear, what's the end game here and what are people looking for to accomplish? And unless you have clear objectives.
So a bunch of confusion. Beside that, okay, let's switch back to this video. I haven't made a video about it, guys, but and well, I gotta make a video about this. So in this video, guys, there's this happened. A sitting senator pleading how scared the whole party is of Trump. Yeah, I don't even know if I made that video, but it's so powerful. I need to make that.
What are you gonna have to say to people who are afraid, or who represent people who are afraid? We are all afraid. Okay. It's quite a statement. But we are, we're in a time and a place where I don't know. I certainly have not. I have not been here before. And I'll tell you. I'm oftentimes very anxious myself about using my voice because retaliation is real, and that's not right. What are you going to have to say to people who are afraid, or who represent people who are afraid? We are all afraid. Statement. But we are we're in a time and a place where I don't know. I certainly have not. I have not been here before. And I'll tell you, I'm oftentimes very anxious myself about using my voice because retaliation is real, and that's not right. What are you going to have to say to people who are afraid, or who represent?
That is scary, bro. That is scary when a sitting senator admitted how afraid the entire Republican Party is afraid of one's person who's not even a dictator. You know how scary that is? And it's up to them now to deny that scary bill that Congress has sent to them, and not make it too low where a lot of judges from state will lose their power over federal wrongdoing. And wait, shit, I got to. But yeah, I thought I might share that with you guys. But that's it for today, guys. I'm really, really tired. Thank you so much for hanging out with me, guys, today. This is Bourgeois Daily. Thank you for that like. I really appreciate the support, guys. Until next time, guys. Deuces.